Python, how can I manually end an infinite while loop that's collecting data, without ending the code and not using keyboard interrupt? In my code I have a while true loop that needs to run for a varying amount of time while collecting live data, 3 to 5 hours. Since the time is not predetermined, I need to manually end the while loop without terminating the script, so that it may continue to the next body of code in the script. I do not want to use input at the end of the loop, because then I have to manually tell it to continue looping every time it finishes the loop. I am collecting live data down to the half second, so this is not practical. Also, I do not want to use keyboard interrupt, have had issues with it. Are there any other solutions? All I have seen is try/except with keyboard interrupt. I expect to end the loop manually and then continue onto the code that acts upon the collected data. If you need more details or have problem with my wording, let me know. I have only asked one question before. I am learning.
How about adding a key listener in a second thread? After you press enter, you'll manually move the script to the next stage by means of a shared pool. The second thread shouldn't slow down the process since it blocks on input.
One way to interrupt the loop is to use signals. The loop will continue until your program receives the user1 signal, sent from the shell. For example, I kill suser1, whereas your program's process id, at which point done will be true the next time your loop tests its value. You can adapt this for keyboard interrupt simply by installing handler as the handler for signal.sigin instead of signal.cguser1, since the default signal handler is what raises a keyboard interrupt exception in the first place.
One option is you could look for the existence of a file, for example. If that file does not exist, it will continue to go through the while loop. Then, when you want to stop the while loop, you can just do touch/tmp/stop_loop and the while loop will stop. I suspect the is file should be reasonably efficient, so maybe this would not be too bad.
If you want to support the channel,